African Beekeepers Limited is a beekeeping company based in Nairobi, Kenya, that has been producing beekeeping equipment for 25 years. The company is also in the honey production business, producing honey from their own beehives. ABL has also set up an Outgrower production system, where ABL is involved in the management of the beehives, so as to produce maximum production of high-quality honey from Langstroth beehives. In July 2024, African Beekeepers signed an MOU with Nature Kenya to start a commercial beekeeping project in the Tana Delta area, where Nature Kenya has been working on environmental conservation and biodiversity, together with community groups. Before the beekeeping project was implemented, ABL, together with Nature Kenya, conducted sensitization trainings to 12 groups comprising of men and women that the beekeeping project would work with. After completing the sensitization training, 12 groups were issued with Langstroth beehives, together with beehive stands. ABL field team, together with group members, identified apiary sites, and the group members installed the beehive stands and put up the brood boxes to trap bees. Soon after hanging the beehives to trap bees, the brood boxes started trapping colonies. Once brood boxes were colonized and settled, they were transferred to the stands, then carefully monitored by the field extension staff on the ground. The project beehives have been closely managed, making sure colonized hives were moved from trapping site to stands, and carefully monitoring and inspecting them so as to install super boxes on beehives. The very strong colonies were fitted with double super boxes. This was determined by the flowering that was taking place in some of the areas where the project site are located. It was just over a year since the Tana Delta project was implemented. Due to the flowering that was taking place in some of the project areas, the super boxes were filling up with honey, and so the ABL field team proceeded to the Delta to start harvesting honey. ABL harvest capped combs of honey from super boxes. The fully capped combs of honey are replaced with recycled frames. The recycled frames are transported in specially designed food-grade plastic crates to Nairobi to the ABL Central Honey Processing Center. The ABL team arrived at the Nature Kenya Minjila offices, where the harvesting crates are offloaded and the crates stored for use during the harvest procedure. The ABL team proceed to the field to commence harvesting honey from the project hives. The team prepare themselves. By suiting up and armed with a smoker, they inspect supers that are fully capped with honey and harvest them by replacing the capped combs of honey with recycled frames. Some of the beehives are fitted with 2 super boxes. This was determined by the good nectar flow in the area, and so the 2 supers produce between 18 and 20 capped frames of honey, which relates to the farmer getting paid for 18 to 20 frames of honey from 1 beehive per harvest. Once the first harvest was completed and the frames were verified by the farmers, the plastic crates containing fully capped combs were transported to the ABL processing center to be processed and packaged in jars ready for the market. All the necessary information regarding each farmer's frames was verified, and payment was transmitted to each farmer via mobile money transfers to the farmers' phones. Most of the farmers received payment for 2 harvests of honey from the same beehives in 2 months. The project beehives are continuing to increase in colonization, now standing over 60% on stands and colonized, which means the next harvest of honey will increase drastically if the weather permits.